Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna have a look at the Wearingeul Modular Glass Pen. It comes in this cardboard box with golden lettering, and inside we have a paper with a little how-to guide, a little piece of sandpaper which is quite fine, it's like a micro mesh, and the pen itself. And in the how-to guide they say that the glass pen tip can be sanded with sandpaper to suit your preferred writing feel. It's interesting that they encourage this without mentioning any safety precautions. The problem is that glass particles are quite dangerous. Make sure to wet your sandpaper and wear some breathing protection. The pen body is a solid piece of wood, and then the cap and other fittings are made out of brass. On the cap I spotted one issue, and I'm not sure if it's specific to my pen or if it's something general. In any case, there is this piece of metal sticking out of the cap, and it is reasonably sharp, like I didn't manage to cut myself, but it can cut a piece of paper. Unscrewing the cap reveals a glass nib that can be changed easily by simply screwing it out of the pen body. So there is a brass fitting with threads on the nib, and that goes inside the pen body. I spotted one quality issue with these threads. The way they are machined towards the end, they are not completely smooth, and I would not really expect this from any pen. The threading isn't great on the cap. I sometimes have the feeling that they are going to cross-thread, so be careful. The wooden barrel looks great and feels great, however it can stain rather easily. And inside is hollow, so if you manage to get some ink inside, make sure to clean it as well. Something I like to do with my Sailor Hokoro is that when I finish writing and there is still some ink on the nib, I just dump it into a glass jar with water so that the ink doesn't dry up on the nib. However, with the Wearingeul, because of the wooden barrel, you can't really do that. You have to clean the pen immediately. There is also no roll stopper on the barrel itself, nor on the cap, so it can easily roll away on the table. It's pretty much the same size as a regular fountain pen. You grip it by the barrel, which is a little bit thicker than you might be used to, at 12 mm. Alright, let's have a look at how it writes. So the pen is the Wearingeul Modular Glass Pen. And the ink is Colorware's Sun Grazing Comet. By default it makes about 0.5 mm line, which is fine, but take this with a grain of salt as there is no feed to regulate the flow. My main issue regarding everyday usability is that you'll have to be careful about not staining your barrel, which might be tricky if you work with something like ink sample. Unfortunately, using this pen to create a swatch is quite a bit hard. You have to really get enough ink on the nib and then get the angle right. It's possible, I guess, but not very practical. The nib holds enough ink to write a couple of lines, so it's easily usable for everyday writing if you really want to use a lot of ink types. And it's quite easy to clean. However, you really want to clean it in water before you change to a different ink color. So I was able to fill about half a page of an A5 Rhodia pad. Ergonomically, I like the length, but at 12 mm it's really starting to be a little bit too thick. Regarding the writing experience, I don't have any major complaints. The nib works fine, it holds enough ink to be useful, and it's easy to clean, as well as easy to replace in case of any accident. Overall, I really like the idea of this pen. The materials look gorgeous, the glass nib is easy to clean. I also liked the writing experience. The wooden barrel is really easy to stain, but that was expected. What wasn't expected though was those QC issues with the threads here and the piece of metal at the end of the cap. So despite this being a brilliant idea, I don't think the execution is brilliant as well. In Europe it retails for about 10 euros and in the US it retails for about $13. A pack of 3 replacement nibs sells for about same amount of money. Unfortunately, because of the QC issues, I can't recommend it even at that price. I still prefer my Sailor Hokoro over the Wearingeul pen. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!